Find him, trick him, marry him, kill him. I love that. I was like, yep, sign me up. Good snarky dark humor fun. Basically, it's made for me. I mean, we've all done a late night online stalk, right? I mean, we've all been there. I mean, you don't need to twist my arm. I'm already here. Hi everybody, it's Audrey and welcome back to Chapter and Converse. Welcome to another month of Audrey gushing about all the amazing books that are coming out in the month ahead. Today we are talking about the month of May, and today I am super excited to be partnering with my friends at Book of the Month on today's video. We are gonna get straight to the good part, you guys. You can get your first book for only $5 using the code BOUQUET, and you get a free hat. How cool is that? If you have been thinking about giving Book of the Month a try, consider this your sign. This is your month, you guys. I have the link down below in the description box, $5 for your first book. You can choose from a brand new hardcover or you can get an audiobook, and you can trust that every month you are gonna get to choose from some of the best fiction that is out there that Book of the Month has selected for us. So they are hugely focused on new and emerging authors, but you are also gonna see some names that you know and love. This month, I found a new and emerging author for me, and I found a name that I know and love. So the know and love for Audrey, this is Alex North. This is his new book. I saw the word thriller. I saw the word serial killer. I was all in. This is The Man Made of Smoke. I fell in love with him with his book, The Shadows, and I'm very excited to see sort of what dark, twisty creepiness he gets up to next. So love, 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 somebody that I love on their list. And then a brand new author and a debut. This is The Bombshell by Darrow Farr. This is a woman who kind of has it all, 17 years old, her family has a ton of money, and then she gets kidnapped, and then things start to happen. It's a bit of a saga of a book. I'm very excited about it. We are in 1993. I hopefully that doesn't fall into the historical fiction category just yet, but it absolutely grabbed my eye and I had to have it. And thanks to Book of the Month, I was able to grab both of these books, which you guys can also grab one of these or one of their other fantastic selections for only $5 using the code BOUQUET, and you also get the free baseball hat, which is absolutely amazing. So you guys know I am a massive fan of Book of the Month. Not only do they have a great selection of books, not only have I found some of my favorite reads of the year through one of their selections, but you get free shipping. They have a loyalty program, and again, introducing me to new authors, again, bringing me people that I love, and knowing that every month there is going to be a very hard time picking what I want because there's so many good books to pick from. One of my favorite things about Book of the Month is it is so evident to me how passionate they are about what they do. They are book lovers, as am I, and book lovers are the best people out there, but you can see it in everything they do, the books that they select, the authors that they partner with, creating a great bookish community, and delivering the best selection of books every month. So again, you can get your first book for only $5 using the code BOUQUET. You get a free hat, you get to select from a whole bunch of books. So whether you are a thriller fan, whether you are a historical fiction fan, whether you are here for the romance, you are here for the contemporary, there is always something for everyone. And on the off chance there's a book that maybe doesn't strike your fancy one month, or maybe you are just not ready to pick up something new, you can skip a month, no questions asked, and just wait for the next amazing month to roll around with new selections. So free shipping, fantastic selection. The blue box shows up at your front door. It's like giving yourself a gift every month. The gift of a book, let's be honest, you guys, is one of the best gifts out there. So check out Book of the Month, $5 for your first book using the code BOUQUET. Check out the link down below. I have all of the information down there, and we're going to talk about these two books, and we are going to talk about a whole bunch of absolutely fantastic books that are coming out this May. Let's get to it. We are going to dive in with May 6th, and the first book I have is The Missing Half by Ashley Flowers. I loved her debut, All Good People Here. It is the dark and messed up wheelhouse of my dreams. She is one of the co-hosts of Crime Junkie. She's all about the true crime. Absolutely love her. I cannot wait for this book. This has been on my list since I heard it was coming out. So in this one, we have two women haunted by their sister's unsolved disappearance, band together. Nicole Nick Monroe is in a rut. She's 24. She lives alone in a dinky apartment in her hometown of Mishawaka, Indiana. I expect corrections. She's just gotten a DWI and she works at the same dead-end job she's been working at since high school. A job she only has because her boss is a family friend and feels sorry for her. Everyone has felt sorry for her for the last 7 years, since the day her older sister Casey vanished without a trace. So on the night that Casey went missing, her car was found over 100 miles from home. The driver's door was open, her purse was untouched in the seat next to it. It Feels a Little Bit Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney. The only real clue in her disappearance was Jules Connor, another young woman from the same area who disappeared in the same way 2 weeks earlier. But with so little for the police to go on, both cases eventually went cold. So now Nick wants nothing more than to move on from her sister's disappearance and the state it's left her in. But one day Jules' sister, Jenna, walks into Nick's life and offers her something she hasn't felt in a long time: hope. What follows is a gripping tale of two sisters who will do anything to find their missing halves, even if it means destroying everything they've ever known. When I tell you I am going to buy this immediately and I cannot wait to read this and I'm so excited for this book, I'm so excited for this book. On the list. Put it on your list, you guys. I love this cover too. I'm obsessed. Then we have Parents Weekend by Alex Finlay. Also obsessed with this cover. And spoiler alert, I've already read this one. I had an arc of it. So stay tuned for an upcoming what I've read recently where I will dive all the way into it, but high level. This is about 5 college students. They're all freshmen: Libby, Blaine, Mark, Felix, and Stella. And it is Parents Weekend at school. So they had not met before college, but the 5 of them live in the same dorm. They are part of the same project. So their parents are all going to meet at this dinner and the kids don't show up. So at first the parents are kind of like, they're kids. 2 of the guys are pledging a fraternity. They probably got cut up on a party. Everyone's like, oh, my kid this, my kid that, no big deal. They don't want to hang with the parents. But then as the hours go on and like texts and phone calls aren't returned, they start to suspect something is up. And each one of these parents kind of has like a little bit of a secret going on that they're trying to figure out who would target these students, because clearly they didn't just flake on dinner. Something is really wrong. And if you guys have read Alex Finlay in the past, then you will probably be as excited as I was to see FBI agent Sarah Keller make her return in this book. She showed up in his first book, Every Last Fear, and then she was also in The Night Shift. I love her. You don't need to read the books before reading this one. They're all standalones, but just a recurring character that I love. This is like thriller, action, fast-paced, like super bingeable, definitely complicated family drama, like personal, like marriage relationship drama, parent-child relationship, like I said, secrets from the past, and it alternates chapters with each parent and then some snippets from the students. So it's really good. It's super fast-paced. I ripped right through it. If you're an Alex Finlay fan, if you're an Alex Finlay fan, you will just, I think you will absolutely love it. This one reminds me the most of Every Last Fear in terms of vibe to the book. So that was my favorite of his. So if you loved that one, I think you'll love this one. And if you love him, I think you will love this one. And then another author I love, I'm not even lying, it's like stacked on the 6th, is My Friends by Fredrik Backman. And this one, it says he returns with an unforgettably funny, deeply moving tale of 4 teenagers whose friendship creates a bond so powerful that it changes a complete stranger's life 25 years later. Most people don't even notice them. 3 tiny figures sitting at the end of a long pier in the corner of one of the most famous paintings in the world. Most people think it's just a depiction of the sea, but Louisa, an aspiring artist herself, knows otherwise, and she is determined to find out the story of these 3 enigmatic figures. 25 years earlier, in a distant seaside town, a group of teenagers find refuge from their bruising home lives by spending long summer days on an abandoned pier, telling silly jokes, sharing secrets, and committing small acts of rebellion. These lost souls find in each other a reason to get up each morning, a reason to dream, and a reason to love. Out of that summer emerges a transcendent work of art, a painting that will unexpectedly be placed into 18-year-old Louisa's care. She embarks on a surprise-filled cross-country journey to learn how the painting came to be and to decide what to do with it. The closer she gets to the painting's birthplace, the more nervous she becomes about what she'll find. Louisa is proof that happy endings don't always take the form we expect, in this stunning testament to the transformative, timeless power of friendship and art. The way that Beartown totally changed my feelings on reading, my feelings on books, just rocked my entire universe. I love Fredrik Backman. He's such a beautiful writer. His characters are absolutely amazing. He evokes so much emotion in everything that he writes. And I'm excited to see that he has something new. So very, very happy for this one. It's categorized under humorous fiction. So we shall see. I'm expecting a lot of heartstring pulling, but we will find out when it hits the shelves. The next book is definitely on my read sooner side, and this is One Golden Summer by Carley Fortune. If you guys, again, have followed me, you know I have so much love for her. Her debut, Every Summer After, also like rocked my world in a way I didn't expect. And the origin story being that Ashley Winstead was talking about Midnight is the Darkest Hour before it came out. And she said it was Every Summer After was serial killers. And I had assumed Every Summer After was a thriller, ran out and bought it. And I was like, oh, it's like a romance. What is happening here? And I loved it and became an instant Carley Fortune fan. So this book actually focuses on a secondary character from Every Summer After, Charlie Florrick. And this is his story. I cannot wait to get Charlie's story. I was a fan of Charlie in Every Summer After. I don't know if everybody was. I definitely was. But in this one, we have Charlie and Alice. So it says, good things happen at the lake. That's what Alice's grandmother says, and it's true. Alice spent just one summer there at a cottage with Nan when she was 17. It's where she took that photo, the one of 3 grinning teenagers in a yellow speedboat, the image that changed her life. Now Alice lives behind a lens. As a photographer, she's most comfortable on the sidelines, letting other people shine. Lately, though, she's been itching for something more, and when Nan falls and breaks her hip, Alice comes up with a plan for them both. Another summer in that magical place, Barry's Bay. But as soon as they settle in, their peace is disrupted by the roar of a familiar yellow boat and the man driving it. I already have chills reading this. I'm so excited for this book. Charlie was 19 when Alice took his photo from afar, and now he's all grown up. A shameless flirt who manages to make Nan laugh, and Alice longed to be 17 again. When life was simpler, when taking pictures were just for fun. Sun-slanted days and warm nights out on the lake with Charlie are a balm for Alice's soul. But when she looks up and sees his piercing green eyes directly on her, she begins to worry for her heart. Because Alice sees people. That's why she's so good at what she does. But she's never met someone who looks and sees her right back. I'm already feeling the emotion of this book. Her books are definitely heartfelt, complicated characters, complicated relationships, some steam, thank you very much. And I'm really, really excited for this one. I kind of want to read Every Summer After, but I know I'm not going to have time to do it before I read this one. You don't have to. It's just if you did, this, I feel like it's going to be one of these, like, there will be references. So if you got it, if you read the first book, you'll get the Easter eggs. You don't need to read the first book. It's just like an added bonus for those of us who did. But I'm a huge fan of hers. I have read all of her books, and I love all of them. She's in an Emily Henry category for me, so I am super excited for this. She also always has the most gorgeous covers. The next book I have is What Happens in Amsterdam by Rachel Lynn Solomon. Another romance, I think kind of in the Carley Fortune, Emily Henry vein. It's supposed to be a bit steamy. Falling in love with your husband is anything but convenient is the tag on this one. So we have Danny Dorfman has somehow made it into her 30s without knowing what she wants to do with her life. So when an office romance ends poorly, don't get involved at work. Office romance ends poorly and gets her fired. She applies for a job in Amsterdam, idly dreaming of escaping the mess she's created, but never imagining she'll actually get it. Except she does. Of course she does, because it's what happens in Amsterdam. So by the end of her first week, she's never felt more adrift or alone. Then she crashes her bike into her high school ex-boyfriend, and suddenly life is blooming with new opportunities. Wouter van Leeuwenhoek was a Dutch exchange student, the way I probably didn't say that right, Dutch exchange student that Danny's family hosted. We used to host people because my sister did those exchange programs. Never a wooter, though, I can tell you. And we have a forbidden love that ended in a painful breakup. So years later, there's still sizzling chemistry between them. Yes, please. And okay, maybe a little animosity. Yikes. More importantly, Wouter needs to be married to inherit a gorgeous family home on a canal. And when Danny's job falls apart, she needs a visa. As the marriage of convenience pushes them together in unexpected ways, Danny must decide whether her new life is yet another mistake or if it's worth taking a risk on a second chance. So second chance romance, fake dating. Yes, please. Love the tulips, love the atmosphere here. I am very much intrigued by this. And I have a feeling that like springtime, love is in the air. I'm going to need to balance out my dark books, you guys. And this is on my list to help balance it out. Then we have a book that sounds very snarky and delicious. This is The Retirement Plan by Sue Hincenbergs. It says they'd kill to be widows. I am here for this book in a way you guys don't even know. 3 best friends turn to murder to collect on their husbands' life insurance policies. Yes! But the husbands have a plan of their own in this darkly funny debut. Love a debut, in case you haven't heard, love a debut. After 30 years of friendship, Pam dreams of her perfect retirement with Nancy, Shalisa, Marlene, and their husbands, until their husbands pool their funds for an investment that goes terribly wrong. Suddenly their golden years are looking as dreary as their marriages. But when the women discover their husbands have 7-figure life insurance policies, a new dream forms. And this time they need a hitman. Meanwhile, their husbands are working on their own secret retirement scheme, and when things begin to go sideways, they fear it's backfired. The husbands scramble to stay alive, but soon realize they may not be quick enough to outmaneuver their wives. What? I don't know. I don't care. I am here for it. So it says, 3 wives wanting a new life and 3 husbands in their way. And I love the cover where she's like holding the knife. Deliciously dark debut is what it says. Basically, it's made for me. The next book I have is Shopgirls, and this is by Jessica Anya Blau. So she wrote Mary Jane, which came out a few years ago, which was set in the 70s, like a coming of age story. It was this girl in the Baltimore suburbs babysitting for this family, which was like the polar opposite of hers, and really kind of opened her up to music and life and just kind of a whole awakening for her. And I really enjoyed it. It was kind of pitched as like an Almost Famous Daisy Jones kind of a thing, even though she's not in a band, but sort of that 70s era vibe of it all. So in this book, Shopgirls, we are set in the 1980s in San Francisco. I know these are technically historical fiction, but I can't still with that. But I do love a book set in the past of like an era I am familiar with. So we have 19-year-old Zippy, can hardly believe it. She's the newest and youngest salesgirl at Magnan, San Francisco's finest department store. Every day she rotates her 3 spruced up Salvation Army outfits and Vaseline shined pumps. Still, she's thrilled to walk those pumps through the employee entrance 5 days a week, as she saves to buy something new. For a girl who grew up in a 1-bedroom apartment above a liquor store with her mother and her mother's madcap boyfriend Howard, a girl who wanted to go to college but had no help in figuring out how, Magnan represents a real chance for a better and more elegant life, or at least a more interesting one. Zippy may not be in school, but she's about to get the education that will stick with her for decades. Her fellow salesgirls, lifetime professionals, run the gamut from mean and indifferent to caring and helpful. The cosmetics ladies on the first floor share both samples and advice, only date a man with a Rolex, and her new roommate, Raquel, an ambitious lawyer, tells Zippy she can lose 10 pounds easy if she joins Raquel eating only every other day. Great advice. Just when Zippy thinks she's getting a handle on how to be an adult woman in 1985, 2 surprises threaten both her sense of self and her coveted position at Magnan. So it says, set in the day-glow colors of 1980 San Francisco, Shopgirls is an intoxicating novel of self-discovery, outrageous fashion, and family both biological and found. I'm so excited for this. I loved the writing of Mary Jane. I love the storytelling. I love a coming-of-age story. And I think this is just going to be great fun. So she's kind of like in like the Tracy Lang category for me, where like fell in love with her first book, will follow whatever she writes, really drawn to the writing and storytelling. And I think this one's going to be fantastic. Now we are going to move into May 13th, and we're going to move into my first book of the month pick, which is The Man Made of Smoke by Alex North. Like I said, I really loved The Shadows or The Shadow Friend, depending if you are US or UK. It was, like, I expected a thriller, and it was so much of an emotional punch packed so much of an emotional punch that I really fell in love with his writing. So I'm really excited to dive into another one of his books. And I mean, when I saw the word serial killer in the blurb, I was like, yep, sign me up. So we have Dan Garvey's life has been haunted by the crime he witnessed as a child, narrowly escaping an encounter with a notorious serial killer. I don't need to know anymore. He has dedicated his life since to profiling criminals, eager to seek justice for innocent victims. So when his father dies under suspicious circumstances, Dan revisits the small island community where he grew up, determined to uncover the truth about his death. Is it possible that the monster he remembers from his childhood nightmares has returned after all these years? So one thing that I really did not expect but really enjoyed about the Shadow Friend, is there really is a study in grief in that one as well. And the way it is expertly woven into the book, a lot of parent-child friendship, dealing with very difficult situations. I did not anticipate that much emotional connection in a thriller the way that I did. And again, it was the first of his I had read, so I was not aware of his style. And I'm very excited for this. So it definitely sounds like both a great thriller and probably a bit of an emotional punch to this one as well. But I will be all in for, it says, by turns emotional, introspective, utterly terrifying, a story of fathers and sons, shadows and secrets, and the fight we all face to escape the trauma of the past. So I do love a past and present mystery. When it comes to books, I enjoy the past haunting the heck out of our characters, and I'm really excited for this one. So thank you, Book of the Month. Very excited, very excited. Next up is a new to me author, and this is Sarina Bowen, and the book is Dying to Meet You. So we have Rowan Gallagher is a devoted single mother and a talented architect, love an architect, with a high-profile commission restoring an historical mansion for the most powerful family in Maine. Love the cover. But inside, she's a mess. I hear you, Rowan. She knows that stalking her ex's avatar all over Portland on her phone isn't the healthiest way to heal from their breakup, but she's out of ice cream and she's sick of rom-coms. Watching his every move is both fascinating and infuriating. He's dining out while she's wallowing on the couch. The last straw comes when he parks in their favorite spot on the waterfront. In a weak moment, she leashes the dog and sets off to see who else is in his car. But instead of catching her ex in a kiss, Rowan becomes the first witness to his murder. No. And the primary suspect. Don't stalk your ex's, friends, because you don't want to be at the scene of his murder and you don't want to be the primary suspect. But Rowan isn't the only one keeping secrets. As she digs for the truth, she discovers the dead man was stalking her too, gathering intimate details about her job and her past. Struggling to clear her name, Rowan finds herself spiraling into the shadowy plot that killed him. Will she be the next to die? Let's find out. Dying to Meet You. I'm very excited for this. You know I love a thriller, and I really... I don't want to say I can relate to the stalking. I mean, we've all done a late night online stalk, right? I mean, we've all been there. But the idea of, showing up at his car and being a witness to his murder and then being the prime suspect, yikes, yikes, yikes. I also love just even the tone of this blurb. It just sounds like it's going to be good, snarky, dark humor fun. I'm here. I mean, you don't need to twist my arm. I'm already here. Then we have the second book in a series that I have read. This is Catherine Mack, and this is No One Was Supposed to Die at This Wedding. This is the second book in the Vacation Mysteries. Last book was Every Time I Go on Vacation, Someone Dies. So our main character in this is a writer. In the last book, she was on book tour, and kind of the plot of her new book was happening in real life. And her ex was there and a whole bunch of her rivals, and it was absolutely great fun. And they were in Italy, and it was perfect scenery and perfect atmosphere, and kind of, I would say, Finlay Donovan, Expectant Detectives, that vein of humorous, not uber violent on the page. So lighter mystery, not quite cozy, good snarky dark humor, lots of fun, very well done. I'm very excited for this one. We are back following Eleanor Dash, who is our writer. And she goes from wedding guest to murder mystery investigator at her best friend's wedding on Catalina Island. So it says, attending your best friend's wedding should be a piece of wedding cake, but not for Eleanor Dash, best-selling author of the Vacation Mystery series. So a little meta, writer writing the book. Because murder seems to follow her every time she goes on vacation, and is definitely her uninvited +1 to this special occasion. So Emma Wood is Eleanor's best friend since childhood, and she is starring in the movie adaptation of When in Rome, which is Eleanor's first novel. Emma is also marrying Fred Winters, a major movie star and Emma's co-star who just happens to be playing Connor Smith, who is Eleanor's ex and the leading man of the series. It gets very, very meta. Filming wraps and they invite the whole cast and crew to their wedding at nearby Catalina Island. There may be a storm headed their way, because of course there is, but nothing will stop their nuptials. That is until Emma receives a note that says, quote, "Someone is going to die at the wedding." Eleanor is a professional at this point, and she'll do everything she can to uncover the murderer so true love can prevail before it's too late for her and the rest of the storm-trapped wedding party. Stuck on an island, the whole cast and crew, everybody's a suspect. I love it. I love it. I'm definitely diving into this one, so keep your eyes perked, keep your ears perked for a review coming your way. Oh, I'm so excited. And the last book for the 13th is another book in a series. This is The Marble Hall Murders by Anthony Horowitz. This is the third book in the Susan Ryland series. So Magpie Murders is the first one. Moonflower Murders is the second one. I still need to read Moonflower Murders. They're like this big. Don't judge me, but I'm excited for this. You guys know I'm a big fan of his. I talk about him quite a bit on here. And this is one of those cases where I'm like, are they going to tell me something I don't want to know? We'll find out. So Magpie Murders, it's a book within a book. I think they're all a book within a book. So Susan Ryland is an editor, and in the first Magpie Murders book, first book, she is editing her like top mystery writer's book, which follows Detective Atticus Pound. And she is reading the book, but then like the last chapter is missing. So she needs to figure out like what happened with the last chapter, what is going on here. But we read like the entire book within the book. It's very clever. It's very fun. And in this one, let me see. I don't know if I want to tell you too much because I know what happens in the second book, but I don't want to ruin it for you. Hold, please. This is what I will tell you. Susan is again reading a manuscript. It revolves around the mysterious death of Lady Margaret Chalfont, days before she was about to change her will. I don't think I said that right. But when it is revealed that the lady was also poisoned, alarm bells begin to ring. So the more Susan reads, the clearer it becomes that there's definitely some mysteries going on here, and I don't want to say anything else about it because I don't want to ruin it. So once again, Susan is going to have to solve a mystery. Once again, the book editor is brought into a real-life mystery, and I'm sure it's going to be nothing short of fantastic. So it says, murder links past and present once again in this mind-boggling metafictional mystery. Enjoy. Just enjoy. He is a fantastic writer. He is so very clever. I love his humor. I love his characters. Susan's a fantastic character. They adapted Magpie and Moonflower as PBS miniseries, like 6 or 8 part series. So you can also just watch those if you would rather. They're also very well done. So cheers. Now we are moving into May 20th, and we have another author that I love that I need to get caught up on. This is The Doorman by Chris Pavone. So I read The Expats, which was his first book when it came out years ago. Totally loved it, have read a few of his books, and I need to read more of them because I'm a very big fan of his. So in this one, we have Chicky Diaz as everyone's favorite doorman at the Bohemia, the most famous apartment house in the world, home of celebrities, financiers, and New York's cultural elite. Up in the penthouse, Emily Longworth has the perfect-looking everything, all except her husband, whom she'd quietly loathed even before the recent revelations about where all the money comes from. But his wealth is immense, their prenup is ironclad, and Emily can't bring herself to leave him yet. And downstairs in 2A, Julian Sonnerberg, who has carved himself a successful niche in the art world and led a good half-century of a full and satisfying cosmopolitan life, has just received a devastating phone call that does nothing at all to alleviate his sense that probably for better and worse, he is aged out and just not that useful to anyone anymore. Oh, Julian. Meanwhile, gathered at the Bohemia's bowels, the building's almost entirely Black and Hispanic working-class staff is taking in the news that just a few miles uptown, a Black man has been killed by the police, leading to a demonstration, a counter-demonstration, and a long night of violence across the tinderbox city. As Chicky changes into his uniform for tonight's shift, he finds himself breaking a cardinal rule of the job. Tonight he'll be carrying a gun, bought only hours earlier, but before he knew of the pandemonium taking over the city. Chicky knows that there's more going on in his patch of sidewalk in front of the Bohemia than anyone's aware of. Tonight in the city, enemies will clash, loyalties will be tested, secrets will be revealed, and lives will be lost. Whew. There is a lot happening here. His books can weave together so expertly so many different stories, so many different characters, and like the Expats, there are CIA vibes, there's espionage vibes in a lot of his books. Like he's just like a smart, puzzling connection thread, like how it all pulls together. I find his stories really, really well done, really, really smart. I'm a big fan of his writing. And Stephen King says this is the bonfire of the vanities for the 21st century. John Grisham calls it old-fashioned page-turning fun. Publishers Weekly, adrenaline-pumping thriller. I'm really interested. And I love the idea of the doorman who probably knows everything about everybody. I love a New York City story, you guys know. I don't know if this is supposed to be like West Side Dakota or if this is just supposed to be a building on the East Side. I don't know. We'll find out once I get into it. But cover's gorgeous. Big fan of his writing. And this one sounds like a compulsive read for sure. Another author that I have read from before and I need to catch up on, this is Andrea Bartz, and this is The Last Ferry Out. I was listening to her being interviewed in a podcast and she started talking about the book, which completely just like piqued my interest even more. I was already interested in it. Now I'm like, deek, 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 up the list it goes. So we have Paradise Hides a Deadly Secret. On a trip to the tropical paradise where her fiancé died, a young woman begins to suspect the death was no accident and the killer's still on the island. Yes, please. Yes, and please. So when Abby steps foot on Isla Colel, she isn't sure what, if anything, she'll find. She only knows that I'm not laughing at this. Did anybody follow last year's Karen Reed trial where the DA basically every question is like, what if anything, what if anything, what if anything? I cannot hear that phrase without thinking of Adam Lally. Okay, let's game face. When Abby steps foot on Isla Colel, she isn't sure what if anything she'll find. She only knows that she needs to see the place where her fiancé Esther died and try to make sense of the tragic accident. The island is nothing like Abby expected, though it was once a bustling tourist hub. A hurricane has left it a shell of its former self, with only a handful of residents remaining. Even the once daily ferry to the mainland now runs every week or so. There, Abby befriends an alluring group of expats, but her sense of unease surges when one of them says he knows the truth about Esther's final days. Before he can tell her more, though, he vanishes from the island. Hours turn to days with no sign of him, and the others are chillingly cavalier about his disappearance. Really? As her quest for the truth unearths dark secrets, shady pasts, and a web of lies, Abby grows more determined than ever to find out what happened to the love of her life. And the deeper she gets into the close-knit expat community, the more she suspects that one of them is Esther's killer and will do anything to keep the truth buried. Yes. Will Abby discover who it is before she becomes the island's next victim? Let's hope she figures out who it is before she becomes the next victim. Brave girl, going to that island to look for answers. We'll find out. We will find out. Next book I have is Making a Killing, and this is by Kara Hunter. This is book number 7. Don't freak out. Book number 7 in the D.I. Folly series. I have read nothing in the series. I would like to. I haven't yet. And I might go rogue and just start here. I've done it before. I will do it again. I will dive on in. Water's going to be fine. But the premise of this one really caught my eye. So whether you have read the 6 books beforehand, whether you're just looking for something to read, hear me out on this one. We have when Nick Vincent, producer of the true crime show Infamous, hears about an explosive new angle on a high-profile case, the 2016 murder of an 8-year-old girl in Oxford, he leaps at the chance to send a researcher to verify the claims. Love a past mystery. 2 months later, a dog walker discovers a woman's body, bound and buried in a shallow grave in the woods. Forensic evidence links the corpse to the disappearance of that same child. DCI Adam Foley, the original investigating officer, is called in to run the inquiry. And he remembers the case well. He arrested the child's mother for murder, a murder he now knows she didn't commit. The investigation raises more questions than answers. What connects the two crimes? Where has the dead girl been all these years? And how did she manage to disappear? For Adam Foley, this is personal. I love the idea of a true crime show. I love a past and present mystery. And I have heard great things about this series. I've heard great things about Kara Hunter. I'm really intrigued. I'm really intrigued. I do have the first book in the series close to home. And just let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've read these. Let me know what you think. I'm intrigued. The true crime will just grab my ear every single time it happens. And I would like to very much read it. So let me know. If you guys have read that one, let me know. Or read any of that series, let me know. And then another author, which I have read before and very much enjoy, is Jamie Lynn Hendricks. And her new book, Their Double Lives, is the last book I have for the 20th. We have a down-on-her-luck waitress at a posh New Jersey country club. So Kim couldn't be living a more different life from the carefree socialites that she serves. Her live-in boyfriend recently cheated on her. Jerk. Social life is in shambles, and her dog needs a life-saving surgery that she can't afford. Then her luck seems to change when a mysterious figure identifying themselves only as the stranger contacts her with an offer she can't refuse. Wait for it. Put a pill in the new member's drink, and when he dies, she'll have enough money to fix her dog and her life. What? All you have to do is just drop a pill. Just drop a pill and kill somebody and we're good to go. Her target turns out to be Tony Fiore, Kim's bad boy ex-boyfriend from high school. What? 15 years have passed and he now goes by Anthony Fuller. He's cleaned up, made tens of millions, and his gorgeous fiancée, 22-year-old PJ Walsh, is on his arm. PJ has had her own agenda from the second she met Anthony. Find him, trick him, marry him, kill him. I love that. Find him, trick him, marry him, kill him. It was supposed to be easy, but she finds that while living her double life, the lines blur between who she is and who she's pretending to be. Kim is stunned to see Tony again, and I'm going to stop reading right there because I already saw something I don't think I wanted to see. What is Kim going to do? What is going to happen? There's deceit and there's buried truths and there's shocking things to find out and there's a whole bunch of dark and messed up stuff going on here and I love it. Jamie Lynn Hendricks can write a wonderfully dark and messed up book. I am a fan of her writing. I am a fan of her storytelling. Her book, It Could Be Anyone, which was The Wedding Party, who everyone's a suspect when the groom dies. Definitely my most favorite of hers. Super dark and messed up, fantastic friendship group. And then also I Didn't Do It, which is the one set at a thriller conference I loved. So I have her last book, A Lovely Lie, which I need to read, but I read her first 3 and I'm just a huge fan of her writing. She's a very lovely lady and I am all in for this one. Imagine someone was going to hire you to murder someone who winds up being your ex-boyfriend. Oh, what would you do for all that money? What would you do? Okay, new to me author. We have Marley Bush, and this is Whispers of Dead Girls. The title alone had me, let's be honest. She's right. It can never happen again. She won't let it. 10 years have passed, and Wren Taylor is back at square one, having accepted a job at her old high school. She hoped to make peace with the past, but now she's thrust back into it. Her murdered teenage sister is still immortalized in town, and Wren can't stop seeing her wherever she goes. She's dogged by the scandal that ruined her childhood and killed her sister. Then Wren meets physics teacher Bryson Lewis. Handsome and charismatic, all the other teachers and students seem to fall at his feet, but Wren knows men like him, and she knows they can't be trusted. The more Wren watches him, the more suspicious she becomes. And when she notices his close relationship with a girl in one of his classes, a girl just like her sister, She worries history is about to repeat itself. This time, she won't sit back and watch another girl be taken before her time. This time, Wren will do what she must to save her, even if it means revealing her own dark secrets. Carter Wilson says, powerful and gutsy. And we've got fans of Lisa Jewell and Mary Kubica will be obsessed with this riveting thriller. And I'm really intrigued by this one. So it looks dark in all the best ways. I love a reluctant return home. And I love her trying to avenge what happened to her sister. I just love everything about this book. And I'm very curious to find out what Wren does. What is she going to do? I'm excited. I'm excited. Love the title of this book. Brilliant. Brilliant title. The next book I have, I actually talked about in a previous video, so it might sound familiar. This is Tell Them You Lied by Laura Loeffler. And this is two New York artists' tumultuous friendship gets turned on its head when one of them goes missing and the other may be to blame. So this is a debut. This was comped to Bunny, Last Girl Alive, and Who is the Bad Art Friend. I love a dark and messed up female friendship, you guys know, and I'm totally in for this one. I need to move my legs. My legs are getting stiff. Okay, Anna has never met anyone like Willow. Entering art school with lofty ideas about art and her role in it, Anna was wholly unprepared for someone as mysterious, moody, and cool as Willow. Here was Anna's muse and collaborator all in one, ready to bring her in on art's great secrets. Now, 5 years later, Anna is weary. Where art school was boundless creativity and collaboration, the New York art scene is all about survival. Worse, Willow's true nature as a muse only to herself has become nakedly apparent, as has her cruelty. So the mugging Anna has staged for Willow this morning, it's supposed to send Willow back to her best friend. The knife is supposed to be a mirror in which this artist can finally see the monster she's become. It's supposed to give Anna her power back. Alternating between the friends' art school tenure and their lives in 2001 New York, Tell Them You Lied reveals how difficult the search is for answers when you'd rather have anything but the truth. I did leave out some stuff from this blurb because I feel like there was too much here. So, definitely toxic, complicated female friendships. It's such a, ooh, I love it so much. I love it so much. I love a New York book. I'm very intrigued. I'm very intrigued. And I will let you guys know after I read it what I think about it. But I'm very, very excited for this. There's a lot of fantastic books coming out, which brings us to my final book. And that last book is The Bombshell. This is by Darrow Farr. When I was doing research for what was coming out in May, this book came across my radar and it said it was perfect for fans of Megan Abbott. And I was like, all right, I'm all in. And then I read what it was about and I was like, okay, I'm like doubly in now. This one sounds really, really fun. So we are in Corsica. We are in 1993. There's so many good like back in time books this month. So we have a sun-drenched Mediterranean summer heads into full swing, beautiful and brash 17-year-old Séverine Guimard is counting down the days until graduation, dreaming of stardom while smoking cigarettes and seducing boys in her class to pass the time. The pampered French-American daughter of a politician, Séverine knows she's destined for bigger things. That is, until one night. Séverine is snatched off her bike by a militant trio fighting for Corsican independence and held for a large ransom. When the men fumble negotiating her release, the four become unlikely housemates deep in the island's remote interior. Eager to gain the upper hand, Séverine sets out to charm her captors, and soon the handsome, intellectual leader Bruno, the gentle university student Titu, and even the gruff, unflappable Petru grow to enjoy the company of their headstrong hostage. As Séverine is exposed to the group's politics, they ignite something unexpected within her, and their ideas begin to take root. With her flair for the spotlight and newfound beliefs, Séverine becomes the face of a radical movement for a global TV audience. What follows is a summer of passion and terror, careening through an inevitable, explosive conclusion, as Séverine steps into the biggest role of her life. An electric novel by an extraordinary new talent, The Bombshell is filled with seduction and fervor and explores the wonders and perils of youthful idealism, the combustibility of celebrity, and the sublime force of young love. Did they totally kidnap the wrong person, you guys? I'm so intrigued. This cover is all the gorgeous things. On top of that, I don't, I love a bit of an epic book. I love a bit of an epic book. I think this one's going to be really, really fun. I love the idea of her like being kidnapped and kind of taking over, her having such a personality and just like, I don't know, seducing these guys. Is it going to be a game? Is she really like believing in what she's fighting for here? I don't know. We have to read it and find out. This one is so beautiful. I'm so excited about it. So also stay tuned. Stay tuned for all of them because you guys know when I read everything, you're the first I'm going to tell all about it. So last book of the month. I'm so excited for it. I didn't even mean to do it that way. Book of the month, last book of the month that I have. Thank you, book of the month. So you guys, you can get your first book for only $5 using the word bouquet. You can get a free hat. Check the links down below. I have the link to their website. I have all of the information. You don't want to miss out on this opportunity. Every month they have main picks that you can choose from. There are add-ons that you can choose from. There's a great community. They have fantastic recommendations. So bouquet, $5 plus a free hat. Grab your first book, whether it is Darrow Farr, whether it is Alex North, whether it is one of the other fantastic choices this month. Definitely go check them out. And thank you one more time to Book of the Month for sponsoring today's video. I'm so very, very grateful. I'm so grateful for all of you guys for being here and for watching. You know the drill. Let me know, what are you most excited about in May? What have you already read? What is on your TBR? Let's talk down below, and I will see you guys in another video really soon. So until then, take care, everybody. Bye.